All right, so today we are going like deep, deep, deep into this whole Myers cocktail thing,
Okay.
which I think is going to be super interesting for our listeners who are already like so into all this holistic wellness stuff.
Right.
It's it's really fascinating, right? This idea of like IV vitamin
It
therapy.
is. It is.
Um, and so we're going to break it all down.
Yeah.
We're going to look at like what the heck is actually in a Myers cocktail? What does the science say about it?
Yeah.
And maybe it's for you, maybe it's not,
Yeah.
but we're going to find out.
Exactly. And I think what's really cool about it is it's like challenging the way we think about getting these essential nutrients, right? Like instead of just thinking about pills and powders and stuff,
Right.
it's like going straight to the source.
So no more like choking down like 12 horse pills.
Yeah, exactly. No more horse pill. It's all about direct delivery. So this Myers cocktail, it's a blend of vitamins, minerals, all sorts of good stuff, and it's delivered straight into your bloodstream with an IV. And it was actually developed by this doctor, Dr. John Myers, way back when, and then later it was kind of refined by Dr. Alan Gaby, and it's really gained a lot of popularity recently.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
But like, I gotta ask, isn't our digestive system like made to handle all that stuff? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of going the IV route?
That's a good question. It all boils down to bioavailability.
Yeah.
When you take something orally, it has to go through that whole digestive process, which can be really inefficient, right?
Right.
So you might not actually be absorbing all those nutrients from, the pills or the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the IV, you totally bypass all of that.
Oh, interesting.
So it goes straight to your cells,
Oh,
like an
yeah,
instant boost for your body.
Okay, now I'm really interested.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
What exactly IIS in this Myers cocktail? We're
Mm.
talking vitamins, minerals.
Okay, so the classic Myers cocktail formula, it usually includes B-complex vitamins,
Right.
vitamin C,
Mm-hmm.
calcium, and magnesium.
I mean, those are all good for you, but why those specific ingredients,
Mm.
especially like in this IV context?
Well, those B vitamins, they're like the rock stars when it comes to energy production,
Yeah.
right? They help your body turn food into fuel, and they're super important for keeping your nerves happy.
Right.
And delivering them through an IV means they can get to work right away.
So that's why people always say they feel like more energized after a B vitamin shot, right?
Yeah.
It's like that instant energy boost.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then you've got vitamin C, which, I mean, we all know that's like the immune system booster,
Yeah.
but it's also a really potent antioxidant.
all right.
So it
Yeah.
helps protect your cells from damage from those nasty free radicals.
Oh,
And then calcium, of course, we all know that's for strong bones, but it's also really important for how your muscles work and your nerve transmission.
Right.
It's really crucial for overall health.
seems like a multitasker.
It is. It is. And then magnesium. You've probably heard that magnesium is involved in tons of different processes in the body.
Oh, yeah. Right.
It's kind of like the unsung hero, you
Yeah.
know? It's involved in like hundreds of enzymatic reactions, everything from like muscle relaxation,
That's hey.
nerve function to blood sugar control, even keeping your heart beating, right?
Oh, wow. Magnesium really is like the MVP then, huh?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like each of these ingredients, like they pack a punch on their own.
Right.
But what about when they're all combined together? Like, is that where the real magic of the Myers cocktail is?
Yeah, that's what's really cool about it. It's
Yeah.
not just the individual benefits, it's the synergy they create when they're all mixed together.
Okay.
And that means that they actually work better together than they would on their own.
Oh, interesting.
They like amplify each other's effects. And that helps your body heal and function in a really comprehensive way.
That makes sense. So it's not just a quick fix. It's about giving your body what it needs to like work its best.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So with all these potential benefits, is this Myers cocktail like something that everyone could benefit from? Or is it more for specific health concerns?
That's a great question. It can be beneficial for a lot of people, but it's definitely not like a one-size-fits-all solution, you know?
Right.
It's really important to understand that it's often used to address a whole bunch of different health concerns,
Okay.
from like chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia to migraines and asthma. So
Yeah.
it can be a really powerful tool for people who are struggling with those conditions.
And I've also heard it can be really helpful for athletes, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Athletes often use it to enhance their performance, recover faster,
Mm-hmm.
replenish those nutrients they lose during training.
Right.
And for people with chronic illnesses, it can help them manage their symptoms and just improve their overall quality of life.
So it's really about addressing individual needs, whether you're, a hardcore athlete or just, someone looking to feel better overall.
Exactly.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But I do have to ask,
Yeah.
what about safety? Are there risks? Like, what do people need to know before trying a Myers cocktail?
Yeah, safety is definitely the most important thing.
Right.
So while it is generally considered safe, there
Mhm.
are some things to consider.
Okay.
People with certain kidney conditions, for example,
Okay.
or heart problems,
Mhm.
or if they're on certain medications, they might not be suitable candidates.
Right.
It really depends on the individual and what their health needs are.
So it sounds like you really need to have a medical assessment before even thinking about trying this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's really important to talk to a qualified healthcare professional,
Right.
someone who specializes in like integrative or functional medicine.
Okay.
They can really assess your individual needs, your medical history, and any potential problems to make sure that the Myers cocktail is the right thing for you.
So personalized medicine, finding what works best for you.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious about the actual experience.
Yeah.
What's a typical Myers cocktail session like?
Well, a typical session lasts somewhere between 20 and 60 minutes,
Okay.
depending on, the specific formula and how fast the IV drips.
Okay.
It starts with that medical assessment, just to
Right.
make sure you're good to go. And then a healthcare professional will put an IV line into your arm, and you can just relax while those nutrients go into your bloodstream.
Some people get kind of freaked out by needles.
Yeah.
Is it painful?
Most people say it just feels like a little pinch
Right.
when the IV goes in, but then it's really just relaxing while the infusion does its thing.
I heard some people describe almost like a warming sensation.
Yeah.
Or they can taste it.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just a physical experience. There might be some sensory stuff going on too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's say someone decides to try it out.
Huh.
How often would they need to get this to experience the benefits?
That really varies from person to person,
Okay.
It depends on what their needs are, what their goals are.
Okay.
Some people might benefit from weekly sessions.
Okay.
Other people might just need it once a month, for maintenance.
Right.
Your healthcare provider would really be able to recommend a plan that's best for you.
Okay, so again, it's that personalized approach.
Exactly.
I like it.
Ah.
Okay, but let's talk about, the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Cost.
Yeah.
How much does this typically cost?
Well, the cost can vary quite a bit
Okay.
depending on where you are in the specific provider, but it's usually somewhere between $100 and $300 per session.
Okay.
And unfortunately, a lot of insurance plans don't cover it
Oh, right.
because they see it as an alternative therapy.
Right. Right.
So it is an out-of-pocket expense for a lot of people.
Okay, that's something to consider for sure.
Yeah.
But are there ways to make it more affordable? Are there package deals or anything like that?
Yeah, you're right. It's always a good idea to talk about payment options with your provider.
Right.
Some places offer packages or memberships
Yes,
that can
sir.
make it a little easier.
All right, good to know. I'm also curious about how this Myers cocktail fits in with a bigger picture of wellness.
Yeah.
Can you combine it with other therapies, like lifestyle changes? Or is it more of a standalone thing?
That's a great question. I think it works best when it's part of a bigger approach to well-being. It's
Yeah.
if you think of it like a car, it's like adding a turbo boost to an already well-maintained engine.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So you're talking about incorporating it into a holistic lifestyle. What would that look like?
Yeah, exactly. Think about things like changing your diet, managing your stress, getting regular exercise, maybe even doing other complementary therapies like acupuncture or massage.
Right.
It's about creating this synergy where everything works together.
Right. So it's not just a quick fix. It's about creating a foundation for long-term wellness.
Exactly.
Cool. Cool. Well, I think we covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about the actual science behind the Myers cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
The practical stuff like cost, how to integrate it with other things.
Yeah.
But our journey doesn't end here.
Definitely not.
We've got a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, in our next part, we're going to dig into the research.
Okay.
We're going to look at what scientists are finding out about how effective the Myers cocktail is for treating all sorts of different conditions.
Oh, cool.
We're going to look at the future of IV nutrient therapy and all the cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, stay tuned.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into the Myers cocktail.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to kind of geek out on some research here.
Okay.
and, see what science has to say about all this stuff.
Well, get ready because there is some really fascinating stuff coming out about how effective this Myers cocktail can be,
Okay.
especially for some conditions that can be kind of tricky to manage.
Yeah. Okay. Now you've really got my attention.
Yeah.
So let's start with one you mentioned earlier, fibromyalgia.
Okay.
For people who don't know, that's a condition that causes like widespread pain, fatigue.
Right.
Is there research out there suggesting that this Myers cocktail can actually help with that?
There is, and it's really encouraging, actually.
Right.
Studies have shown that people with fibromyalgia who get these Myers cocktail infusions regularly, they've reported significant reductions in pain, fatigue, even depression.
Wow.
Compared to people who didn't get the treatment.
That's huge because, fibromyalgia can be so debilitating. Yeah. To hear that there's something that could potentially offer some relief, that's got to be a big deal for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just anecdotal evidence either.
Okay.
There are controlled studies that back this up.
Okay.
So, for example, there was this one study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine.
Okay.
And they found that Myers cocktail infusions led to some really impressive improvements in those fibromyalgia symptoms.
Yeah.
We're talking pain, sleep quality, mood, all that.
Wow.
Over a period of 8 weeks.
8 weeks? That's a decent amount of time to see those kinds of results.
Yeah, it is.
That's really promising.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that's fibromyalgia. What about other conditions?
Mm-hmm.
Has it shown promise in other areas?
It has. It's also been studied for its potential to treat acute asthma attacks.
Okay.
Which, those can be pretty scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one study actually found that patients who got a Myers cocktail infusion during an asthma attack, they had faster symptom relief and needed less of the conventional medication compared to people who didn't get the infusion.
That's amazing. So it could potentially even be used in like emergency situations as a complementary therapy?
Yeah, it's possible. More research is definitely needed in that area.
Right.
But the initial findings are definitely intriguing.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got fibromyalgia, asthma. Are there other areas where this is being investigated?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch.
Okay.
Researchers are looking into its potential for chronic fatigue syndrome.
Okay.
Migraines, depression, anxiety.
Wow.
Even certain types of cancer.
Okay.
It seems like every day there's something new being studied.
Wow. So much potential.
Yeah, but I do have to say that a lot of this research is still in its early stages.
Right, of course.
And we need those big, large-scale trials to really confirm what we're seeing.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to be cautious, not jump to any conclusions.
Yeah.
But it's still really exciting to see, the potential here.
Yeah.
Being investigated across so many different areas of health.
Definitely.
It's kind of like opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and look towards the future.
Okay.
What are like some of the emerging trends in the world of IV nutrient therapy? Like what's on the horizon? What are you excited about?
Well, one thing that I think is really exciting is this focus on personalized formulations.
Okay.
We talked earlier about how the classic Myers cocktail can be kind of tailored to people's needs.
Right.
But the future is taking that to a whole new level.
So instead of just, adding a few extra ingredients, it's about creating like a truly customized blend.
Yeah.
Based on like someone's individual biochemistry and health goals.
Exactly.
Wow.
And with all the advances in like genetic testing and personalized medicine, we're getting so much better at understanding how people's nutrient needs vary and how those variations can impact their health. So it's really about creating a Myers cocktail that's like perfectly suited to you.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like having a tailor-made suit, but for your health.
Exactly.
That's cool. Okay, so what else? What other innovations are you excited about?
I'm really excited about the advancements in delivery methods.
Okay.
So researchers are developing new technologies that make IV nutrient therapy more comfortable, more efficient, and more accessible.
I like the sound of that.
Which is great news for everyone.
Yeah.
You mentioned needles earlier.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, they're not the biggest fans of needles.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's some cool stuff happening to make that experience a little less, pokey.
Okay, good.
So they're developing things like smaller needles that are less invasive, so it makes that whole insertion process much more comfortable.
Okay.
And they're even working on portable infusion devices, so you could actually get the treatment at home.
That is a game changer.
Yeah.
No more having to go to a clinic or hospital.
Right,
You
yeah.
can just relax in your PJs on your couch
Yeah.
and get those nutrients flowing. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the nutrient solutions themselves? Are there any advancements happening there?
There are, yeah. Scientists are always looking for ways to make those nutrients even better.
Okay.
So they're trying to improve the stability of the nutrients, the bioavailability, how well they're absorbed,
Yeah.
and just the overall effectiveness.
Huh.
They're exploring like new ways to encapsulate and deliver those nutrients
Cool.
so that they're absorbed more efficiently and have a longer lasting impact.
So it sounds like this is a field that's constantly evolving. There's always new stuff happening,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
It's really exciting. And I think as the research continues and as this technology keeps advancing,
Yeah,
we're going to see IV nutrient therapy become even more important in healthcare.
I think so too.
It's about time we started thinking outside the box when it comes to health and wellness.
Right. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered some really exciting ground in this segment. I mean, from, the latest research on the Myers cocktail to the future of IV nutrient therapy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm buzzing with all this information.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
But we're not done yet. We have one more part to this deep dive.
Yeah, one more part.
And in the final segment, we're going to bring it all together.
Okay.
We're going to look at what this all means for you,
Yeah.
our listener,
Yeah.
and your personal wellness journey.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about how to find a qualified practitioner, what questions you should ask them, and how to decide if this Myers cocktail is right for you.
It's going to be good.
So stay tuned for the grand finale. Welcome back to our deep dive. We're at the final part now of this Myers cocktail exploration.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to kind of like bring it all together,
Yeah.
see how we can actually use all this information.
It's been a pretty wild ride.
Yeah.
Right. We've looked at the science, the potential benefits, the future,
Yeah.
and now it's all about you.
Right. Exactly.
You, the listener, and how you can take all this and actually make decisions about your own well-being.
Totally. So let's say, someone's listening to this and they're like, wow, this Myers cocktail sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I want to try it.
Right.
What's the first step? Where do they even begin?
Well, the first step is definitely to talk to a doctor
Okay.
or a qualified healthcare provider,
Right.
someone who specializes in like integrative or functional medicine.
Yeah.
They can really figure out if it's right for you.
So it's not something you should just like try on your own.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's really important to have expert guidance
Yeah.
to make sure it's safe and that you're getting the most out of it.
Okay. So finding the right practitioner, that's key here.
Absolutely.
They can help you figure out like the right dosage, how often to do it.
Exactly. And personalize the formula so it's just right for what you need.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's talk about expectations.
Sure.
Like, what should someone actually expect to feel after this? Is it like a magic bullet, or is it more subtle than that?
It's not a magic bullet,
Okay.
but a lot of people do report feeling a difference.
Okay.
Like more energy, mental clarity, a general sense of well-being.
Okay.
Some people even describe it as like a mental reset.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, but everyone's different, right? So
Okay.
there's no guarantee you'll feel like a completely different person.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's more about like supporting your body's natural processes,
Exactly.
giving it what it needs to function well.
Yeah.
So not a quick fix, but more like an investment in your long-term health.
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool.
It's about creating the best environment for your body to heal and function at its best.
And the effects, they last for a while.
Yeah, usually for a few days to a week.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people choose to do it regularly,
Right, to keep those benefits going. We've talked about the science, the practical side of things.
Yeah.
But I also want to touch on something else, like the growing acceptance of all this, like integrative medicine.
Yeah.
It seems like more and more people are like looking beyond just conventional treatments. They're exploring these different approaches to healthcare.
Yeah, there's definitely a shift happening.
Yeah.
People are realizing that wellness is about more than just treating symptoms, right?
Right.
It's about the whole person, mind, body, spirit,
Exactly.
finding that balance.
And this Myers cocktail, it kind of fits into that,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
It's not about just masking the symptoms. It's about giving your body what it needs to heal.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when you combine it with like, a healthy diet, exercise, managing your stress, all that good stuff,
Yeah.
it can be a really powerful way to improve your well-being.
Totally.
It's kind of empowering,
Yeah.
Like we have more options now than ever before
Absolutely.
to take control of our health.
I-
We're not just, passively receiving care. We're actively participating in our own healing.
Yeah, and as we learn more about this stuff,
Yeah.
we're going to see even more innovative ways to support our well-being.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
Yeah.
You know, we really explored the Myers cocktail, this
Yeah.
whole world of 5E nutrient therapy.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
What's one final thought you want to leave our listener with? Like the most important takeaway?
I'd say be open-minded.
Okay.
Be willing to explore different options.
Yeah.
The Myers cocktail is just one example,
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, do your research,
Yeah.
and most importantly, listen to your body.
Love it.
Find what works for you.
That's such a powerful message.
Yeah.
You know, it's about taking charge of your health,
Exactly.
finding solutions that work for you.
Yeah.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
The pleasure was all mine.
I hope this sparked some curiosity,
Yeah.
inspired you to learn more about, all these different ways to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Remember, your health is your most valuable asset.
It is.
Invest in it wisely.
Until next time.
Take care.